Guess what? Breaking fuck the news. Israeli cybersecurity co-founder says it's time to limit the First Amendment. It's time for the government to take full control over social media and what people say on social media. And guess what? I got the video of it because it was live, broadcasted live. It's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late. What do you mean? I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to second the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking. The government should have full and utter control of social media, and the First Amendment should be limited. Breaking fuck the.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honor unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000 men. All right, famine of the word coming soon. All right, the famine of the word is coming soon. You've seen this video here, from this ish here, this 1948er. His name is Kramer, I believe. All right, over there in that fake state, all right, is to the Israeli state, and whatnot, and he's talking about basically doing away with the First Amendment. All right, and we've been preaching this thing. We've been telling you that this will come to pass. All right, this is what these devils want to do. This is what they're bringing. All right, this is what they're bringing. You have to understand the time that we're in. All right, you have to get this word now, before it's too late. All right, because if you don't get this word now, your faith wouldn't be built up. All right, and you definitely, as a result, you wouldn't be going into the chariots unless you're ordained the elect, because the elect is going to get this word. The elect is going to be sealed with this word. All right, before the end comes. All right, that's what the scripture says. So understanding that, this ain't no joke what's going on here. All right, this ain't no joke what's going on here. All right, I'll start with the first precept. All right, this is Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. It says, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Now, there is going to be a famine of food and thirst, drought, but there also going to be a famine of the word. All right, where you're not going to get this understanding. All right, again, this understanding is necessary to be saved. All right, it must be sealed with this word. You must hear this word. All right, and when you hear this word, if you are elect, you're going to repent and change from your wicked ways, and the Lord going to forgive you, and the Lord going to send His Spirit upon you, which is going to seal you. All right, that mark of exemption that we read about in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. All right. So it's vitally important to get this word now. Don't stop procrastinating, stop playing. All right, this ain't no time to joke around. I'm bringing the precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. It says, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, right? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and put not off from day to day." Right? Saying tomorrow I'll do it. No, do it today. It says, "For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security," right? The security, and they're secure in different ways, secure in the system, in the monetary system, being secure means free of danger. You believe that you're okay, especially you women, you feel like everything is everything. No, everything is not everything. It's high time to wake out of sleep. All right, because now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. How we know that? The prophecies. The prophecies are the measuring stick. All right. So we'll continue in Sirach 5, Ecclesiasticus 5, verse 7. It says, in fact, let me read it over. It says, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. All right, in the day of vengeance. So this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen to you if you don't turn to the Lord right now, because the famine of the wood is definitely coming. All right, the famine of the wood is definitely coming. Things not going to always be like this, where you can go on the internet and you can get this wood. All right, the true wood. All right, it's beginning at GMS, the Great Millstone, or Elder Apostles on down. So this Amos chapter 8 and verse 12, it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and shall not find it. Why they're not going to find it? So they're going to be running from east to west. All right, looking for this doctrine. All right, from north even to the east. All right, they're going to run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and they're not going to. Why? At the end of the day, it's because the men of the Lord are going to be silent, and that day going to be an evil time. They're going to be looking for the men of the Lord. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 13. It says, therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. They're going to seek to lay their hands on the men of the Lord. All right, this is what happens. Some of us, they have and matter, but those men are safe. Right, you know, their salvation is secure. All right, so understanding that, you understand the time that we're in. Let's bring in some other precepts here. Let me see if I can get this. Let's look for some precepts. Sorry, the book of Ezekiel. Let's get the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 7. Spare up my moment here. Using my hard copy today. Very soon you wouldn't even have these phones to use. Alright, so get accustomed using a hard copy as well. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 25. It says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests, and counsel from the ancients. Right, so you're not going to have the law, you're not going to have the counsel. All right, it says, the king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the Lord is going to do unto you. You know what? If you rejected this word, didn't come to this word, you know, it's a lot of hell. It's going to be happening. A lot of hell, a lot of hell. This ain't no joke. He told you all that this was coming. And you know, they're bringing it soon. Lord willing, they'll bring it soon. And we want them to bring it because why? You know, we want the prophecies to come to pass quick. The quicker they come to pass, the quicker we make it into the kingdom, Lord willing. All right. This is John chapter 9 and verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, right? The night cometh, when night represent what? The great confusion that this devil is gonna make wrought in the earth. All right, with all his AI, his robotics, you know, super soldiers, you know, martial law, the famine, the pestilence, the plagues. All right, this is gonna be hell in this place, according to Matthew 24 and 21. All right, it says, while it is day, the night cometh when no man can work. Right, so now is the time to push. Now is the time to work. All right, now is the time to work, because you know what's coming. All right, we know what's coming. You know, and this word has been a tripping stone for those who can't understand it. All right, those who don't have that oil, you know, they're gonna be in a bad state. They're gonna be in a bad state indeed. All right, and we told you so. We told you so. You know, this ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. Let me get something here. Let's get the book of see this here. Let's bear with my moment here. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 25. It says, But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them, right? And I will make thy tongue, so we're not going to be out in the highways and the byways much longer. All right, I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. All right, they are a rebellious house. So this is what's coming. Understand it. All right, understand this is not no joke. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. All right, this ain't no joke. Or they're gonna know eventually that the prophets have been among them. All right, when they realize everything that we say is coming to pass, that's the reason why they're gonna be looking for us in that time. All right, that's the reason why. This is Ezekiel. Let me see here. Ezekiel 33 and verse 30. Yeah, Ezekiel 33. And also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray thee. Right? Pray you. And hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but with their heart, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. Right? The wickedness of this world, the iniquity. Or of this world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. Right? It says, And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. Right? They hear the words and they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So they don't believe. A lot of them hear the word, they don't believe it. They look at us as entertainment. It sounds good. They like the rebuke, the reproof. All right. And, basically they don't take heed. They don't take heed at all. All right. And that's going to be a stumbling block unto them. All right. When this word is finished, being finished preached, it's going to be a stumbling block unto them. Now that's what they don't understand. All right. That's what they don't understand. They're gonna thirst for this word and want to hear it again. This is Isaiah chapter 8 and Isaiah 8 and verse 13 says, Sanctify Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Right? And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Right? They're going to be taken by this word and snared, because they wouldn't be able to understand it, and execute it. Right? It says, bind up the testimony and seal the law among my disciples. So that's what's going to happen. And I will wait upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. So this the elect going to be sealed up with what? That oil. All right, that oil, that testimony. All right, going into Matthew 25th chapter, from verse 1 on down. Right, but the rest of Israel, not going to receive it. They're not going to get it. All right, it says, Behold, I and the children whom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel, from Yahweh of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. So understand the time, there ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. Let's get one more and close this out. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. 2nd Esdras 9 and verse 9, it says, Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Right? Because you heard the word. You have no more cloak for your sin. All right? You're gonna dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits, right? You receive, or everything you receive of the Lord, your job, your car, your clothes, your food, all right, your family, okay? For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, while they yet had liberty, while the word is available, you hate the word of the Lord, and as when yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, right? They despise it. And you understand, it's going into the same First Amendment rights. Because when they go into the First Amendment, here it says in the AI overview, it protects fundamental freedoms. So it's your so-called inalienable rights are going to be done away with. All right, through law, legislation. All right, religion, no establishment, free exercise, speech, the press, peaceful assembly, the right to petition the government for grievances. All these things are going to be done away with. All right, you see the key protections here, religion. So they're not going to allow you to practice so-called Christianity, and that's going to go against the truth too. So speech, freedom of speech, all right? Say it protects your rights to express ideas, even unpopular ones, and they ain't going to have that no more when they control social media, all right? Okay? The press, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, you're not going to be assembled together. You have to do that in secret. Petition guarantees your right to ask the government to fix problem. No, they don't have any of those things. All right, so it's not just speech alone. All the freedoms, all the benefits that they got in Babylon Great and around the world, all these different corporations, the countries that follow after Babylon, that's going to be done away with. The Lord is going to take it away. And they're going to dwell in terrors and horrors and torments. All right? Understand that. This is continuing here, 2 Ezra 9 and verse 12. It says what? The same must know it after death by pain, right? You have to know after death by pain. This is what's going to happen to you. So, hey, be afraid. Be very afraid. And understand the time when we coming up to the M, to the O, to the T, to the B, that R fit C hip, potato chip, don't take it. All right? If you know what good for you, don't take it. And if you know what good for you, listen to this word and be built up in faith, so you'll be able to stand in the evil day. All right? And with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. They're coming with it. Famine of the word cometh quickly. Shalom, wa harag, babal.